You tune into the Sportscast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need. We give you outspoken thoughts about all the headlines. We talk baseball, football, hockey, and more. No matter the topic, we cover it. Get ready for the show and keep it outspoken. Keep it outspoken. We keep it outspoken only on the Sportscast. Tune into the Sportscast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need.
Hey guys, welcome in to the Outspoken Sportscast, guys. It's episode 118, first ever. We got all three hosts on the show. Me, Brian, Jeff, and Craig, guys. We're in for a wild ride today. We got a lot of information to get to you. But how you guys doing tonight?
Doing good.
Yes, sir.
Doing good,
Ready
Craig?
for some hockey later, and ready for these playoffs to get rolling.
Yeah, you might be a little bit late, but hopefully you got that DVR set up there.
We'll be all right.
All right, guys. Well, the spotlight of the week is going to be about the NFL schedule release. Just happened last evening. We also got to jump into the headlines here and give you some Brittany Griner news in Russia, some crazy story going on there. We have some Juedy in trouble in Denver. We also got some hockey news, and then we also, of course, are going to give you a NBA update in the playoffs right after this, guys. All right, guys. The spotlight of the week we got for you is the NFL schedule release, and this is always kind of a big event going on right after the draft. It comes out when we get to see where teams are playing, when they're going to play. There's a lot of good games coming up. There's some revenge games we got going on in week one. We got Russell Wilson going back to Seattle. that
NFL
savage for that one. So we're gonna give you the primetime games. We got the toughest schedule. They rank the toughest schedules. We got the strength of schedule. So let's go ahead real quick and look at the strength of schedule real quick. And kind of go through, I guess, the top five. Kind of name some mentioned ones. So now the strength of schedule. It's not always accurate, right? Because they're going off of the winning percentages of the years before. So if you're saying these teams are going to be the same team as tough as they were last year, which that doesn't always pan out for a lot of teams, this is how tough your schedule would be. So the Rams have the number one hardest schedule in the league, they say. They just won the Super Bowl. They've got to defend. And I think it has a lot to do with that division that they're in. They have a tough division, and you look at number two, you got the Cardinals. So two teams in that same division have the two toughest in the NFL so far. I mean, going off of what this says. Is this a list that y'all take serious, or is this a list you kind of like, yeah?
I'll let you go, Craig.
I mean, I don't, because it's basically off last year's schedule, and that's telling you that your team didn't get any better, and they did. Obviously, the draft has happened, free agency has happened. You should be better. So these teams, to say that the Lions aren't going to be any better than they were last year is a classic understatement. I mean, we've talked about the one score games, we've talked about their draft, and they're still projected to win 6 games. I just don't see that. I mean, Dallas supposedly has the weakest schedule in football. I don't see that at all. I mean, I have 5 or 6 losses right off the top of my head.
I don't know if I take it too seriously. I think sometimes that again, it's like that kind of that tried and true saying, any given Sunday you could lose to anybody at any moment. So you see teams, even last year there was a ton of upsets last season. So it's you're playing against some of the best. I mean, that these people aren't here for nothing. So you're playing up, these guys are hungry. Some of these teams, especially these like kind of younger teams, these guys are hungry. They're going to start going after, they're going to try to get what they need to get. And that's it, so when you kind of start ranking them like that, it's really difficult to kind of say who's got the worst schedule, who's got the toughest schedule, because in the end you got to win the games, and that's all that matters.
And you got divisional matchups and travel that you take into consideration. I mean, you got guys going to London and flying to London. I mean, that all changes everything.
Yeah, and being a realistic fan, if you're trying to be a realistic fan, when you look at your division, you're probably going to bet you're going to split some of those. Yeah. When you look at the Cowboys division, you look at Green Bay's division, not very good. We're thinking, oh, Green Bay's going to sleep. Well, that doesn't really always happen. That doesn't happen all the time with the Cowboys. It did last year. But teams have gotten better. The Eagles have drafted better. The Lions have drafted great, and they're they lost so many games last year by such low margins. I do think they're going to win. They'll probably win 7, maybe 8. I don't know. We'll see about that. But I do agree. I don't take this list, I kind of look at it and go, okay, where are my team ranks at? It's kind of a fun little list. We got the Rams, Cardinals, you got Bengals at number 3. Then you got Tampa Bay Buccaneers. When I'm looking at them and going, well, their division is not very good, so I don't know about that, but I guess they play a lot of other teams that are supposed to be good. And then Niners and Chiefs at 5. And then if you look at the low end of the spectrum, you got the Lions at 28, the Giants, Eagles, Commanders, and Cowboys. That whole division is the last bit of it, and the Cowboys and Commanders are actually tied. And that's always a good thing for your team. I mean, at the end of the day, you want the more wins on the book, but I also believe you also want to face good teams, because you eventually got to get to the playoffs. You got to face and beat good teams to get there. So one thing I want to bring up just real quick is what games are you guys looking forward to now that we have the matchups? Are there any particular games other than, you have the Russell Wilson going back to Seattle, facing his old team, making a statement? What other games stand out to you as, okay, this is going to be an interesting game, or I can't wait to see this game kind of right
thing?
Well, I think it starts off game 1 of the NFL. Thursday night football, opening game, Bills versus Rams. We got a team that should have been in the Super Bowl last year in the Bills. If they could have held the Chiefs with like 10 seconds on the clock, you would have had these two teams facing in the Super Bowl. So you're starting off primetime game, Thursday night football, starting off the NFL. Two teams. Now they'll probably be a little rusty, as they all usually are game 1, but I think that one I got on my board. Craig, what's one that you got to look forward to, do you think?
Well, I mean, right out of the gate, you have Brady and Prescott facing off again, and that was that wasn't supposed to be a good game last year. They figured Tampa Bay'd come in there and steamroll them, and that turned out to be one of the best games of the season, and an epic showdown down to the final field goal. Tampa has to kick a walk-off field goal to beat them, and so that right out of the gate, and then Dallas playing Cincy. I mean, you come right out of the gate with those two teams, you're going to know right away if Dallas is real or fake right out of the gate.
Yeah. Well, I got. I'm glad you brought that up, Jeff, because I got the top 9 primetime games they have listed here. Number 1 is that game I just mentioned. Number 2, this is in your division, Jeff, as Jeff is a Denver Bronco fan. Chargers versus Chiefs. This is Thursday night football in week 2. So we get 2 fantastic Thursday night games, back-to-back weeks. You got Mahomes versus Herbert. This ought to be a good game as well. 2 high-flying offenses. These teams have done quite a bit in the offseason. The Kansas City Chiefs lost their best wide receiver. They brought in some guys that they're hoping can take his place. And then you got the Chargers, who I think bolstered up that defense to help out Herbert, and they grabbed an offensive lineman as well from Green Bay. He's fantastic and shore up that offensive line. I think the Chargers are ready to take that jump this season, so that should be a good game as well. Anything else, Jeff? You think?
Oh man, the one that really stuck out to me, other than opening Monday Night Football for me, is obviously Broncos and playing the Seahawks. That'll be interesting. It's the Cowboys in Green Bay.
Yes, week 13.
That is an interesting game. Is that going to be in Green Bay, or are they going back to Dallas?
No, in Green Bay in November.
Green Bay,
okay.
Snowy in November. Hopefully it works out in our favor. I don't think sometimes it's a home field advantage until we hit the playoffs, and then that's the different story apparently. But no,
that's towards the end of the season, so you got some playoff implications going on there.
Yeah, and the only good thing is Dallas comes off the bye going into it. They come off their bye week going into it.
Green Bay goes the bye the week after, so we have a late bye this year, which I like later byes because then you're pretty much well rested. You have a day of rest before you get to that grind at the end of the season for those playoff implication games where anything can happen. So we have and those games usually end up being pretty down to the wire, last second field goals, Aaron Rodgers with 10 seconds on the clock, crazy games, and I love it. Craig, not so much there, buddy. But
yeah, well, the only other thing that I did pay attention to in terms of my team is that we finally get a Christmas game. We haven't had one in a while, so
a long time.
I was like, okay,
Green
that's
Bay
pretty
does
cool.
too. We play Miami Dolphins. Woo! Yeah, let's go.
So that's pretty cool.
Let me shuffle through these real quick. We got the third game is Green Bay at Buffalo Sunday night, week 8. That's going to be a great game. We got Cincinnati and Baltimore Sunday, October 9th, week 5. Then Green Bay's in here again. My goodness. Monday Night Football is the only Monday night game we have this week or this year. Thank goodness, because of my work schedule. We play the Rams in Green Bay December 19th. Talk about home field advantage there. You got the Rams and Chargers. You've got Kansas City, a rematch of the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay. You have the Raiders and Pittsburgh on here for some reason.
Oh, God.
And then you have the Colts and the Dallas Cowboys for some reason. Because, who's their quarterback? Who's the Colts quarterback?
Matt Ryan.
That's right. Hey, they should win.
And they have a better O-line than he was dealing with in Atlanta, I think. So
better. They have better
running back.
They have better everything than they had, except maybe tight end. Yeah,
that might be an interesting game, actually. So
Dallas hasn't been able to stop a running back ever. So Taylor against them.
They go over some winners and losers of this season's schedule. They have winners of the Minnesota Vikings. I say they get to play Green Bay right off the bat without the Adams be a little rusty. They can get a little jump on that, maybe that division. And then after that, they don't play a whole lot of tough teams. The Lions, they do the Saints. They play the Saints in London. Green Bay's going to London this year.
Yeah, so is the Broncos.
Interesting. I hate those games. I got to get up and watch my team at 8 in the morning.
Woo!
And I don't have NFL Network. So tell me, guys, what bar is open in the area at 8 in the morning? I can go watch my game.
You can go to London.
I can go to London and then fly out to London.
Sweet. Facebook Live, whatever it is.
Yeah. Amazon Prime. I'm like, well, I'm glad I already have that. And we got losers, the Falcons. I
don't even know what that even means half the time when they talk about that kind of crap. Because it's kind of like, it's kind of like sitting there and Man, yeah, it's just
Well,
kind of like
here, okay.
grading your schedule, I guess. But I don't know.
This is something that I wanted to talk about. Bears, the Chicago Bears hit with a bizarre NFL scheduling quirk that teams haven't seen in 58 years. They play December, all their games are at home.
Oh my god!
What the?
All
Stop
4
it.
games are at home in the cold weather in December. That stinks for those teams. You got the Chiefs. They get a crazy opening schedule. They've got the Cardinals, the Chargers, the Colts, the Cowboys. No, not the Chiefs. My bad. The Colts, the Buccaneers, the Raiders, the Bills, the Niners. Those are their first opening games, and then they go on a bye, and they got Tennessee right off. So I don't know if they figured out that we can't let
Why is it to seem like this schedule is the same schedule as last year? Typically, you got opening day. Cowboys
Yeah.
play Tampa Bay. The Chiefs don't play the Broncos till after the bye. That happened last year. I'm like, wait, what? Like, it just seems
That
a little.
NFC West is going to be brutal.
Oh yeah.
Brutal. I mean, Herbert, Russ, Mahomes. I mean,
It's interesting. I've told Brian this. I don't fear them anymore. We've played them so many times at this point.
Yeah.
Like it gets
division
so
rivalries.
close. There were times where we just completely demolished the Chargers. There last year we came twice within beating the Chiefs, and we were one fumble away from Melvin Gordon, actually, right on the 1-yard line. From winning that game. So
y'all
it's
should have
just
won that one.
I
Man.
know we should
Oh,
have, dude.
my
I know
gosh.
it was frustrating. I was watching it, I was like, this is
Yes!
ridiculous.
No.
As soon as he hit him too, I was like, oh no,
Because the guy didn't even have
missed
his
his
opportunity to
No.
hold
Here's
on.
the block.
Yeah.
Turnstile.
As soon as he got the ball, it was like the lineman just moved out of the way, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what are you
He's
doing?
over here.
Oh, horrible. But yeah, this year I definitely think we're splitting with the Chiefs. So I think we'll end up.
Oh, yeah. No Tyreek Hill. That helps.
Yeah.
The Texans, another little quirky thing they added in here. The Texans will face 3 teams that have come off their bye week this season. I'm like, let's cut the Texans a break, okay? They already suck. They're Deshaun
Lovie
Watson
Smith.
left them.
Lovie Smith. Gonna
Lovie
turn it
Smith
around.
over Flores. Oh my gosh. Oh, let's see. Week 14 bye. The Falcons, Bears, Packers, Colts, Saints, and Commanders will all have a bye week in week 14. Fantastic for all those teams. First Amazon Thursday night game will be this season. So there's some little quirks here for you. But I think that's going to be it for the schedules, guys.
So is that game you're only able to watch on Amazon Prime?
If you have Amazon.
If you don't have Amazon Prime, you will not see those games. I don't have NFL Network because AT&T, I have DirecTV, which goes through AT&T, and they will not pay for NFL Network. So any game on NFL Network, I have to
But you have Bally's.
go somewhere else. I'm not a Dallas Cowboy fan there, Craig. All right.
We're going on Bally's.
I don't have to worry about that anymore, man. I'm already here.
I mean,
so.
Texas Rangers, yes, but they don't play the Dallas Cowboys on there. I mean, are more than anything,
Brian finding a Packer game is like this coin flip. It's kind of like, oh, where does the market end?
Yeah.
Where you have to look at the map.
I'm like, babe, sorry, can't go to church Sunday. I got to go to Pluckers.
Yeah.
I got a game I got to watch. Last year I lucked out because a lot of the games were prime time and were on here. And as long as they don't match up with the Dallas Cowboys, they're usually on. So
that there's some people in Minnesota or in Wisconsin that cannot watch the Packer games.
Yeah.
Like the way that the map, like it's put, the way that the broadcasting map is, they cannot. Their own.
I've seen that
people in their own state
I'm
can't
7
see.
minutes from Lambeau, but no.
Oh my god, dude!
I see that a lot of a lot of complaints are like, I'm in Green Bay and why, I'm like, what? That's the same thing with baseball here. Back in the day, you could turn on 27 or channel 21 and watch your local baseball game. But now you got to have Bally's. I'm like, you wonder why baseball's losing ratings. Like, come on, man. It's not
or
rocket
that, or
science.
either that, or get the app. But then again, if you get the app and you're there, you're blacked out.
You're
so.
blacked out.
Yeah. Hey, get your app. Oh, we found you. We found you in the area code. Sorry, not you.
Yeah. My buddy is a Chicago Bears fan, unfortunately, and he lives down the street, and he actually logs into the DirecTV with the zip code in Chicago because his family lives there, and he gets to watch all the Bears games because he thinks he's in Chicago. I'm like, oh man, that must be nice. I need to find somebody in Lambeau Field or Green Bay up there and do the same freaking thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, though, there is a change though coming for the NFL Sunday Ticket. Apple's picking that up, I believe, this year or next year. So I don't know what the plans are going to be for that. I have Apple TV. It's $5, but I guarantee you it's not going to be $5 if I want Sunday NFL Ticket. It'll probably be 55,
No.
75 bucks.
Yearly straight flat 200 and something. Like
It's outrageous.
My brother pays that for the Lions. He's paid it every year.
Oh gosh, they owe him a.
You know what's crazy? My dad
fan
does.
Hall of Fame.
My dad does, and I'm like, dude, you're a Cowboy fan. What the hell? He's like,
Yeah.
I don't care. I like to watch the games. I'm like, okay.
There ain't nothing wrong with that.
They need to do like the MLB does. The MLB
Dude.
offers, when they do it, they offer one team or all the teams. For
Yes.
one team, you can do it for a whole lot cheaper. So
Yep.
you could just do the Packers and it would be $70, or you could do all the NFL for 170.
Yeah.
You know, but MLB has it right.
Yeah.
You could do your team or you could do all the teams if you want. But to make you pay $200 just to watch Packer games is wrong.
It's outrageous.
Yeah.
It's outrageous.
Hopefully they get an app, man, because
Yeah.
that would be freaking incredible.
You know how much money they would make?
Oh, a ton more. They would make more that way than doing it the way they're doing it.
Yeah. Shoot. Okay. I've talked to you about this, Jeff, before. You pay I like what the WWE has done with their app. I can watch everything on there, but you can go back and watch old matches. I wish NFL would do that. When they're not in season, pay $10 a month and go watch old school Super Bowls. Go back and watch old school games. Go back and do this. When you're in season,
or
charge
highlights.
Charge me
highlights.
$20 a month, and I'll pay it. I'll pay it easily. But it's just ridiculous. You want me to pay $400 a year? I'm like, nah, that ain't gonna happen.
God, and they get the TV money too.
And they get the TV money. Craig, buddy, I think you are frozen, my man. Unfortunately,
He'll come back.
He'll jump back in. His internet crashed earlier, so.
Oh, okay.
All right, guys. Well, that is going to be the end of the spotlight of the week. The NFL schedule. Let us know if you have any complaints about your team's schedule, what you think about that, and everything. But we're going to go ahead and jump into the headlines of the week, guys. All right, guys. We've had some technical difficulties here. Craig has lost his internet, and he's jumping back in. I'm shooting him a text. We are going into the headlines of the week here, and we're all over the map, Jeff. Where you got WNBA, we got Jeff's frozen too. All chaos is broken loose. No, we got a crazy story coming out of Russia. I know it's not the war with Ukraine. Okay, we got some. We got Jacksonville's deal, Jerry Judy, Sidney Crosby. Hopefully, Craig's back in on that. That's supposed to be his little segment. And then we got NBA update coming for you a little bit later. Of course, what's in our locker now. Jeff, I don't know if you've been following what's been going on with Brittany Griner. Have you been paying attention to any of that and kind of what's happening in that situation?
Vaguely, I think when it first started. Make sure my mic was on. When it first started, I kind of was I know about it. Like I remember that she got picked up for drugs or possession of drugs. So picked up at customs. I thought it was odd. I thought it was an odd timing. Russia's kind of a weird kind of country where you don't really know if it's kind of like if you were to go to North Korea, right? And like you hear stories of people getting picked up, and usually they're just taking pictures. And that's no. They think you're a spy, and now you're going to jail. So it's just kind of little things like that where you go, I don't know though. Like, was that a thing? Like, is it possible that somebody slipped something around? Maybe. It sucks because that's one of my worst fears is something like that happening in another country, and you're in jail in another country. That would be horrible.
Yes. All right. Hey, welcome back, Craig. We just jumped in.
AT&T at its finest.
Oh yeah.
Internet just locked up.
We just jumped into the Brittany Griner. Now, I'm going to go ahead and read this statement here. The Brittany Griner is still being held in Russia. This statement here from the United States government says, the United States government now considers WNBA star Brittany Griner to be wrongfully detained by the U.S. government or by the Russian government, signaling a significant shift in how officials will try to get her home. The welfare and safety of U.S. citizens abroad is among the highest priorities in the U.S. government. The State Department said the Department of State has determined that Russian Federation has wrongfully detained the United States citizen Brittany Griner. Now, look, if I'm traveling and I get caught with CBD cartridges and they're illegal in that country, then she's got to pay the consequences of that. Whatever, right? That is. But they agree. They think she's been wrongfully contained. It was these even hers. Jeff mentioned a while ago. Maybe Russia slipped something in. It'd be kind of weird to do it to Brittany Griner of all people. But unfortunately, this sucks for her. It's been no telling what's going on over there. These are Russian prisons. They're not. They're probably not well kept, and I don't know what they're doing to her over there. Whatever. I mean. Hopefully nothing bad, but
I've seen a few hospitals and they don't look very good.
They don't look very good.
I couldn't imagine the prisons.
Today, Russian authorities extended Griner's detention for 30 more days and deny her request for house arrest. I haven't seen any statements from Brittany Griner. Probably not going to get one. We don't know. Was this her CBD? Is it against regulations to do this, and is she being held for a proper amount of time? I don't know. It seems a little fishy over here. CBD somewhere. I don't know it's probably not in prison for 3 months. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know. No. It just seems a little fishy.
That's kind of a touchy subject. Well, I mean, it's
well, Colorado, it's not right. You can. All that kind of all sorts of different things there, but
well, Oregon, you can do mushrooms, but
you can legally commit suicide there too, right?
That is
Oregon's an interesting place.
So, yeah, man, I don't know. It's just the timing. The timing is so weird. Like if we weren't in the middle of something with them or another country was in the middle of something with them, I could kind of go, yeah, maybe she screwed up, or something. But it's just so weird, the timing of it. The fact that they don't know probably that we don't really consider, and I don't want to get hate for this. We don't pay attention to the WNBA very much, right? So, a lot of sports enthusiasts probably overlook it, but over there they probably look at her like, oh, she's got to be a star, right? She's got to be famous. Everybody knows her, blah blah blah. So them thinking that they can detain her is probably going, oh, we might get some attention here because this is a big time basketball player, right? This is America's quote unquote sweetheart or whatever. So it's like we look at it, we're kind of like, yeah, but that's not, if you were to tell me, oh, it was Dak Prescott, it would be like, what? Everybody would kind of go, what? Get him back before the season starts.
He'd have been home a long time ago.
Yeah.
Jerry had been over there.
Oh, God.
We'll trade you Steven.
Yeah. I'll give you a Jerry Jr.
Oh, so... Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's what they thought, and it's very possible. It's just odd. Weird timing, odd timing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of disruption going on, even with us and them, so it's just kind of I don't know. It seems so fishy and weird to me. I'll let someone else.
They did say today there was a statement out that said she has not complained about the conditions in the prison, that they haven't done anything to her, they haven't hurt her, they haven't not fed her. But the sanctions, the timing of it, like Jeff said, the sanctions that the U.S. has put on it, they're going, hey, what can we get? What can we get back? Can we get one of our people that are imprisoned in a U.S. prison for her? Can we barter this? Can we do that? What can we do to and of course everybody disagrees with who's running the U.S. Everybody's like, oh, hey, what can we get from this guy? You know, and so I think whether it's hers or not, a lot of those athletes use the CBD for joint and pain and all that stuff, and it's legal most places in the U.S. So did she throw it in her bag and then just forget that when I'm going to Russia that it's not legal there?
Right.
Right.
Who knows? Or did they slip it in and go, hey, we're going to take her and we're going to use her in this war against the U.S. and try to get something in exchange? Either way, it's not a good look for Russia, and it's not a good look that she's been over there and we can't get her back.
Could you imagine, especially with the games going on in London now, we're going to Germany, if that happened to an NFL star? Hey, you're gonna go to Germany in week 3, and then one of your star quarterback or wide receiver or whatever, we're gonna hold on to him for 3 months. What? That's a quick way to end relationships.
Or even an NBA player who, like, sometimes some of the NBA players will go and play in Europe in the off season.
Yeah.
Just to kind of stay fresh, stay loose or whatever. And so with Brittany Griner, you go, okay, was she in a layover? Was she coming from another European country that didn't necessarily care, and she just kind of had it with her, and then happened to just lay over in a country that had a problem with it? So I don't know. It's just a weird situation. I don't know. I think that we won't hear she's still there, right? So
they extended it for 30 days.
We're not going to hear the end of this anytime soon. I think it will be interesting when it's all said and done, because obviously she's going to get a lot of interviews.
She's going to write a book, and she's going to make money.
She'll make money off it. But we'll finally know exactly what the heck happened there. So
well, and they said today that they have extended her stay there for 30 days.
Which they think there's going to be a trial in the next 30 days. That's why they extended it. But is there, isn't there? I don't know.
Yeah,
at some point they're going to have to deport her. I don't know. It's just
it's crazy. I've never seen this, and it's insane. But all right, guys. Well, headline number 2: Jacksonville Jaguars and number 1 first-round pick Walker reaches a $37.4 million contract that is fully guaranteed. Now, Jeff, these contracts, and I guess this is the way they're going, because we talked about this on Tuesday, Craig. Aiden Hutchinson got a fully guaranteed contract. I'm going, my gosh, these guys haven't played one bit in the NFL, and you are throwing out fully guaranteed contracts.
They threw out another one today. It was like 19.
Chris Olave,
whatever. Yeah.
Chris Olave from the Saints guy. I think that's where we're headed to in the NFL.
Oh my
fully
God.
guaranteed contracts. And I'm like, these guys, I can understand if this is an NFL player, right? Quarterback, fully guaranteed. They get a lot of fully guaranteed.
I think Olave got 19 million or something like that.
Yeah. His wasn't too terrible, but 37.4 for
so
a guy
when it comes to Trevor Lawrence's time, what's going to happen? Where's his money? Oh, we gave it to a rookie that we didn't know was going to do anything. And he happened to be a bust. Sorry.
Yeah. He played 4 games and blew his knee out.
Yeah.
But we're still tied to him.
And then Walker wasn't even the first sure number 1 pick. Jacksonville took him, and people were like, well, we kind of figured they would do that, but I didn't,
He wasn't even talked about in the top 10, and all of a sudden Jacksonville's like, number 1.
Number 1, we'll take him.
Oh, got him.
I just don't
Lions
get it.
are like, Yahtzee.
Yes. Aiden Hutchinson, heck yes, come my way. But But
Thanks.
even that, I'm like, no players for sure. No player is a for sure thing. I mean, Trevor Lawrence was supposed to be the next Peyton Manning. Now I know it's early in his career and he's probably going to be good, but what if he ends up being a bust? And no one knows, and that's one of the awesome things about the draft, and one of the worst things about the draft. But giving these guys fully guaranteed contracts, and then just a hope and a prayer that they freaking work out, I think is it's where we're trending to. But I don't really like it. I don't really like it.
I think it's a stupid idea.
It's dumb.
It's ridiculous. These guys have to earn that. Like, you can't just start throwing stuff out like that. Because if that's a trend, I hope my team doesn't do it. God,
it's a trend, and that's the way I think we're looking. Look at other
you got
sports.
3 guys that have already got it in this year's draft.
Packers are next, Brian.
And then you got Kyler wanting $980 million a year.
Oh, that's a joke. I
didn't
didn't even put that on this run sheet because it's such a freaking joke.
Oh,
such a joke. 70 million. That's just his way of wanting. If those rumors are true, that's just his way of wanting out. No one's paying that guy 70 million. You're telling me you're better than Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes? They're not even close to those two. That's just I'll just laugh my butt off at that BS the other day.
Well, you saw the troll website today, didn't you? That the Raiders were trading for Jerry Judy because it was a fit for their a good fit for them.
Oh well, that is a perfect swing over to
he fit their scheme.
Oh,
their culture
fit to number 3 over here as we move on to Jerry Judy got arrested on criminal tampering charges and added a domestic enhancer. And I'm like, what the heck is a domestic enhancer? What is going on? So Jeff, I'm going to give this time to you since this is your guy, your team, and fill us in and try to explain. I know we still don't know all the details, but this didn't seem like much at the end of the day.
So they did a press conference here like that. When I got off work, I kind of hit YouTube and just listened to it on the way home. And yesterday, whenever that happened. And so from what I can tell, they said that based on the law, he had to be picked up for domestic violence because and the way it was worded is it's considered second degree and a misdemeanor if you're using an object as a form of a weapon, even if you're not hitting someone with it. So if, like, let's say you take someone's phone and you're like, I'm not giving that back, that's a form of domestic violence. In this particular case, it seemed like he was having an argument with his significant other, and he said, well, then I'm taking the child that we have together because maybe he thought the child was unsafe with the person. I don't know. And then she called the police, said that he's threatening to take the child, and we get a domestic violence because you're holding something of significance back from somebody else and threatening, so to speak, them. So from what I can tell, he had to based on Colorado law, he had to stay in jail until he met with the judge, which was today. He was released. I think his court date is May 31st or something. So that's why he was still in there. They were talking about that. So basically, based on the law here, I don't know if it's anywhere else, you will have to, no matter if you can't even post bail at all until you talk to the judge, and the judge sets the bail. So he just sat there and then got out. And I look at it like, it just seems weird and out of character. He's kind of a pretty chilled out person. He talks sometimes like he got, he had comments about Locke and stuff like that. But other than like football stuff, you don't really hear much going on with him. So it was kind of a surprise to me because I just wasn't expecting it from him. So it's interesting.
I saw that and sent it right to you, and I said, domestic violence? Oh my gosh, that's
and that's such and a headline is like such a stigma behind it, and you don't have the context behind it. And you're like going, why? Like what? And it was so vague. Nobody had any answers until I saw that press conference, and they actually, I think that was like the police were talking. So
Why
it
does
was
that
just,
happen? That happens with Denver Broncos. Von Miller, they got in trouble with the law, and we're like, it took them like months to figure out it was actually nothing. It's like, why is everything so hush hush? Takes freaking months to figure out what's going on.
I don't know. What are you talking about? Which one? Which thing with Von Miller?
Yeah, it was the last thing that happened. It was when he was in Denver, and it was like
The only thing I can remember is that the NFL, he got trouble with the NFL when he first got in the league for he failed a drug test. They gave him a slap on the wrist. He failed one more, I think, and they gave him a slap on the wrist, and then he failed that next one. He got 6-game suspension. I think
no,
he was
there's something with the law. It ended up being not much, but it was like
it was like a text messages with
Yeah.
some girl. Yeah.
And I'm like, why is this taking forever? We have no clue what's going on.
Yeah,
with
it was all BS. That was all BS.
When I saw it, when you said it to me last night, and I see domestic violence enhancer, I'm like, what is an enhancer?
I had to look it up. I'm like, what?
Yeah. I'm like, what does that mean? That doesn't mean that he hit anybody. That doesn't. So like what Jeff's saying, Colorado law is basically like if you tell somebody I'm coming back for you, and I guess it's a deal. So he tries to take the kid and go, hey, listen, I don't want my kid around a bunch of yelling and screaming. Right. So I'm going to go out and we're just going to go right around the block until you calm down.
Right.
And now all of a sudden he's going to go meet with the judge and pay $1,500. And she's like, maybe it got out of hand.
She asked for all charges to be dropped. So,
but with the NFL, did they tag the word domestic violence? Does Judy have to miss games now because of the word domestic violence? I hope not.
And the way that the press conference went, they were saying that there was a car scene involved. So I was just kind of like, it seems like this dude was trying to take this kid out of a situation.
Yes,
and he got mad and got heated because you're kidnapping the child, and so it's just kind of like threatening me with the kid, so it was just all downhill from there. So hopefully this is just whatever, and he can move on and start the season, because he was actually excited to start the season with Russell Wilson. They've been working out together. All the team wide receivers have been working out together. So it's just
excited to have somebody that can hit me in the hands and not the hot dog guy in the third row.
So I think it's nothing.
I think we've all been there with that domestic violence enhancer. We've all been there, right? No.
Sure.
No. I'm just joking, guys. I'm just joking. No, I had to look it up. I said, "What's an enhancer? What in the world is that?"
Yeah.
Law. When things started going on, when you first see domestic violence, you automatically go, "Oh my gosh, what in the world?"
Especially with the NFL's policy now. But we're not going to suspend Deshaun Watson ever. So.
What? Yeah, this still.
Well, I mean, the only thing that comes anytime I hear it nowadays, like the one thing that pops in my head is Ray Rice, yeah.
And knocked his lady out in the elevator, dragged her, knocked lifeless by, and then they suspend him 2 games.
Then the tape comes out, and they're like, "Oh, hold on, maybe he caveman her in the elevator and drug her out by her hair. Now we should probably do something different."
And they say they didn't have the video. Okay, there, Roger Goodell.
Yeah.
Think
about that. Von Miller got suspended for 6 games for some Molly he took right at the beginning of the league when he first started in the league. The 6 games, and then he got slapped with 2. I'm like, what is this?
He knocked.
God.
Oh my gosh,
Zeke got suspended for something he did in college.
One shot. That's what's that? One shot. Oh my god, that was so bad. That was
The lady that was running the NFL's investigation had New York Giants fat heads on her wall. She's like, "Oh yeah, that's not going to be biased."
Well, talking about a hard-knocking, hard-hitting sport, Craig, you are our hockey guy on the station, on the channel, whatever. So, number 4, Sidney Crosby to miss Game 6. We talked about our game on Tuesday. We wanted Crosby to be there, kind of go out on top since it's going to be his last season. Go ahead and fill us in there on what this team might look like without him, or what's the injury.
It
and how
shows
long might
what
be
it
out.
looks like without him. They were winning. They were up a goal or up 2 goals when he comes into the center ice in a centering pass, and the guy runs a forearm across his face. There's no penalty called. He hit the ice and he popped back up and went to the bench. So you think, okay, he's all right. But with 5 minutes left, he wanders down the path to the locker room and never comes back. It sounds to me like another concussion. And Sidney Crosby and concussions do not go well, like we talked about Tuesday. He's missed a lot of time. He's missed a lot of deals. And as soon as he went out, they let up 3 goals. Like the whole mood of the team changed. They let up 3 goals, and now they're facing Game 6 tonight without him. And who knows if he's back for Game 7.
Or more the next series.
The coach in an interview said, they asked him, well, what do you think about the hit? He's like, did you see it? He's like, yeah, you probably think the same thing I do. And he left it at that.
Now, Jeff, I don't know if you know this, Craig. You said on Tuesday that Crosby missed like a whole season due to concussions.
I think I remember hearing about that one time.
Craig, can you hear me, Craig?
Yes. Yeah.
He missed the whole year. Didn't you say that Tuesday? He missed
the end of a season, and he missed a full season back when he first came in the league. He had to go to a chiropractor and have all this work done. He had symptoms of concussion symptoms for almost a year.
Wow, that's he's got to watch out for CTE. That's scary stuff. That's scary stuff. Hopefully he comes back. This is his last season, thank goodness, because head injuries are not something you want to keep on getting.
No, it's not, and it's very different. I mean, it's very, very. He's had so many. They may just tell him no more. The doctor may just tell him no. You're done.
You're done. When your life's on the line.
When you look it up on the internet, under part of the search is how many concussions is too many. Whoa, okay, so that means he's got to be getting close to a number.
Yeah, and nobody wants to see. People want to play NHL hits, but they don't want to see it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's. All right, guys. Well, this is a segment I kind of been looking forward to here at the end. The NBA update, number 5 headline of the week. We have the Dallas Mavericks forcing Game 7 last night as Luka had 33 points, and the role players stepped up, played really good for them as well. Game 7 will be Sunday. Unfortunately, it needs to be Saturday night so I can stay up and watch it. It's going to be Sunday, and it's going to be at 11 p.m. like they all are. It'll probably be like 8 or 9, maybe 7. The early games at 2:30. They will be on probably about 6, 7 o'clock. Going back to Phoenix. So, look, Luka is amazing. Luka has I saw a stat today, and he averages 39.4 points a game in games that he could be eliminated, and that's the most from anybody in the NBA history. So fantastic play from him. These role players have got to step up on the road, Craig, and that's what we've been talking about. Just give me one time. Look, we Tuesday we talked about it. They really didn't show up the last game. They got blown out. Well, not Game 6, but Game 5. They got blown out. It was really the fourth quarter or the third quarter. We scored 9 points in the third quarter of that game, and that is abysmal. That is a.
You had 9 free throws, bro. Come on.
Yeah. 9 points in the third quarter is not going to get the job done. So they come back to Dallas in Game 6. Luka plays great. The team plays good. They're shooting from 3-point line. Kids got this team rolling. We've got to see that on the road if this team wants to win Game 7. Regardless if they win Game 7 or not, this is a very successful season for the Mavericks. They were one of the highest seeds we've seen them in a long time. They've won a playoff series. Jason Kidd seems to be. I've given this guy praise all year. Didn't know how it was going to work out with his previous stops. He went over to LA with the Lakers, did great there. LeBron loved him. He came over here to Dallas, and he has been coaching one hell of a season, and I'm looking forward to seeing if this team can win Game 7 Sunday night.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna definitely be watching, and paying attention, because ultimately, it's like if the Dallas Mavericks could do what they did to Chris Paul, get him out of the game, and try that again. It just push it, be physical. With the ball and stuff, and I think the Mavericks, this is the most physical I've seen them. And Luka too, like Luka's just he's physically kind of trying to overpower people. We saw him slam
Well, they can't guard him.
and just get in the paint. And I think if he can try and do that, and draw some of those fouls, I mean, I think that could put Phoenix in some trouble early on in that game, and then they would play softer at that point. So it's interesting, but we'll see. They got to win in Phoenix. I don't know if they can, but I'm just glad that they pushed it to 7. So
it's a successful season. You took the best team in the NBA, record-wise, out of both conferences to Game 7. That's fantastic. You kids got these guys playing hard for them. I think we lost Craig here for a second. I know he wants to chime in on the Mavericks here, but like I said, we've talked about it. I've talked about it with Craig. I've talked on the podcast. These role players got to step up. In Game 6, they were on fire. They were shooting 3-point shots like nothing. They were looking really good. Game 5, just when they go to Phoenix, and this kind of happens everywhere. Your role players don't play that great on the road, but they've got to have that game where someone steps out of the box. A couple guys. You can't just have Brunson and Luka. You got to have a couple guys hitting threes, and you got to have Luka spreading the ball, drawing in what I've seen him do, other than basically scoring when he wants to, driving guys down. He gets a smaller guy on him. He's driving down to the basket. He's got to be able to facilitate. When they lost Game 6 the other night, or when they lost Game 5, the other night, Luka only had 2 assists. That's not like Luka.
Yeah.
So he's got to drive to the basket, chip out to the 3-point shot. These guys got to hit them. But if they can get on a roll, going with a 3-point shot and keep it competitive down to the fourth quarter and play all fourth quarters, they have a shot to win.
And that's the thing is, I think if the Mavericks can get a good early lead like that, especially going out of the first half, the Suns struggle with that, trying to come back when they're down by 20, they're down by 25 or something, and it's just kind of like they have because it's kind of hard at that point. Luka can kind of just start laying it up, and just getting easy baskets at that point, because it's hard to match something like that, especially when they're up by that much. So if the Mavericks can get a decent lead after the first half, that can sustain them through that second half, then I think they could win the game. But
Luka's going to get his. You got to have somebody. Dodo.
And Dorian Finney-Smith's been the guy.
He has been the number 2. We talked about it Tuesday. He has been the number 2 in this series overall. He's locked Aiden down on defense, and he's been the offense. If Finney-Smith or Dinwiddie or Bertans or any of these guys, somebody steps up and can shoot anything, then the Mavericks win the game, because defensively, I think Kid's made the adjustments.
Yes.
He's made the deals. I think he's frustrated Phoenix, but Phoenix being at home is going to get the calls. They're going to have the crowd. They're going to have, and the Mavericks have laid an egg and pooped their pants every time they've gone into Phoenix. So can you just one time go into Phoenix and not do that? We'll see.
Give me a 70-point Luka game.
Yeah, and that's what it's going to take. He's going to shoot it 1,000 times.
Luka's got
an MJ-like performance, please.
Flu game, something. Maybe Luka will catch the flu over the weekend. I don't know.
Oh,
yeah. Luka's got to at least put 40 up, I think. You got to have Brunson in double digits, and then you got to have 2 more people. If Brunson's not scoring 20, you need 3 people in double digits. You got to have it's going to be hard to get Chris Paul in foul trouble, them being at home.
What's the most points Kobe had in a game, Brian?
81.
Did they lose that game?
Did they win that game?
I believe they did. I believe they did lose that game.
They lost that game?
I believe.
Shit.
I have to look it up.
Because I'm thinking, because in my mind I'm thinking, what are the odds of winning a game when your guy scores so much like that?
Probably very rare. You probably win all of them. Let me see.
Because Wilt scored 100. I don't know if they won that game or not. That's years ago, but.
Oh yeah, that was.
Dude, if I saw 100.
You're right.
What the hell happened?
That's what they were thinking the night that Kobe went for 81.
God.
I mean, the last game of his career, he went for 55 or 60.
I'm trying to look it up real quick. Y'all keep talking here.
Yeah, I don't. Something in my mind tells me that he went for 81 and they lost, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I hope we get and it's not asking a lot for some of these Maverick guys. I mean, you're asking for what 10 points, 11 points, just something to kind of
something. Kleba hit a couple threes, just some of them, and at the clutch time.
Yeah.
You get where Luka hits you and you're wide open, standing by yourself in a corner. Don't doink it off the backboard.
Oh, Brian, you're muted, man.
Yeah.
You're wrong, Craig. The Lakers did win that one,
All
like
right,
122 to 108. So if Luka comes out and scores 70, it's over. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. But how mad would Kobe been if we went in that locker room they lost or just put up 81? Oh man, he'd have been pissed.
Oh. Yeah, it's exciting to see him. Luka is just an exciting player, and this is just going to be one of many, man. Like one of many playoff runs, one of many. And it's just going to be a fun ride to see how far this kid goes and how great he becomes, because he's already amazing. 23 years old, and he's just going to get better and better and better.
Second year, third year, whatever.
God.
Yeah.
One thing I've got to talk about here is what Jason Kidd's done to this team defensively has been awesome. When they had Rick Carlisle, they were offensive. They scored. They've scored and scored and scored. There was no defensive presence.
No.
Kids got him playing the other way around, and that's what gets you through these tough playoff series is playing good defense, locking down guys. And I think he's done a fantastic job. And I was really skeptical when they got him because what he did, his brief stay in Milwaukee, and the stuff that went on behind the scenes there. But I think he's really locked in, learned some things, and I think he's got a fantastic relationship with Luka and, this team.
Well, that's what they said when they hired him. They thought that the point guard mentality, him being the point guard and Luka being the point guard and them having a similar way of playing basketball, that was going to be a good fit. That's why they hired him.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, let's move on to the next series here. 76ers lose to Miami the other night, and they get sent home. It makes me think if Embiid was healthy, do they win this series? If Embiid was healthy, do they win? Who knows? Maybe it goes 7 games. They lose in 6. And here's more troubling news for the Sixers. As we all know, they made the trade for Harden on the offseason. Well, Embiid made some concerning remarks about his supposed superstar in James Harden, saying that when we traded for him, people thought he was the guy from Houston, and he's just not that guy anymore. That seems like to me, it seems like he's taking shots, maybe a little disappointed. James Harden is not going to take that very lightly.
Well, if you're not going to take it lightly, then do what you're supposed to do. I mean,
you're right.
It's factual. I mean, since he left Houston, he hasn't been the same guy. That's why they got rid of him in Brooklyn. I mean, Brooklyn doesn't just give away a superstar like that if he's playing to his capability. Brooklyn saw what he was doing and went, we're fine with it. Here you go. You want to give us 1,000 picks for that guy? Then we'll do it because he's washed up or whatever. I mean, I guess.
Whatever's going on with him, he's not that guy. And I totally agree. He's not that guy. But to come out and say that is like, whoa, you don't say, that's something you might bring up later. Teammate. I mean, there's been drama with this team forever. With Ben Simmons and the head coach and this and that and this. Like, my goodness, this team is good enough to win. They've got players, but can we just play basketball? Can we get all the drama out of there?
Chemistry problem.
Something.
Yeah, it's definitely a chemistry problem.
Well, same thing in Brooklyn.
And the thing is also is like it's just this is Harden and like Kevin Durant and even Russell Westbrook. It just boggles my mind how those group of guys couldn't do anything in Oklahoma. How in the heck did that happen? Like
the original super team before there was a super team.
Exactly. And then even try.
No,
That's the
yeah,
crazy
just happened
part.
to draft them.
It just fell in their
drafted a super
lap,
team. Yeah.
and it was just like, are you serious? That was them in their prime.
Yes.
Like, you gotta be kidding me. Russell Westbrook was scoring what, 40 some odd points and 50 some odd points, and I mean,
Durant
it's just
coming right
like,
out of Texas,
oh man,
MVP candidate right out of the deal.
you gotta
Yeah.
be kidding me.
They went to
man.
one
Like,
finals and never won a game. And they got swept the year they
jeez.
went.
I
And
don't
then
get it. It's just
Kevin-
so weird. I mean, a lot of personalities maybe I get, but man, can you imagine them on, like, at that time, them on the Lakers,
Oh,
them on playing with Dirk, like, just, I mean, come on, like, just anybody, like,
Yep.
would have just been, oh heck yeah, or them, or like them going to Cleveland and playing with LeBron James. Like, you put that group of people in a same team, no one's gonna stop them, dude.
Well, that's just what Kevin Durant did. Is he tucked his head between his tails and he went and joined the freaking Warriors, who only lost like 7 games, and that is one of the worst rings. I don't think that should freaking count. Dirk Nowitzki's one championship is more than Durant's ever. Is way more worth than what Durant's ever was, and
They're
I
kind of
can't
fight for
I-
that.
because he
Yeah.
beat one of the super teams. He
Oh
beat-
yeah, he beat him single-handedly. He didn't have nobody on that team. He had a bunch of old guys and
Yeah.
went out there and got the job done. He swept the Lakers with Kobe Bryant. That was
Phil's last season.
as head coach of the Lakers. There, it is what it is. But they've got it. There's so much drama in Philly. I don't even know it's about winning basketball games.
It's
you don't
just-
even have to worry about them.
yeah. It's
they'll
kinda like-
they'll implode themselves,
Yep.
and then you kind of just go from there. You want them to be competitive because you don't want that, like, and I'm surprised the Nets bounce, but you don't want teams like the Nets or even the Bucks to run railroad all over everybody. And I think it's all about being competitive, and if the Phillies can't be competitive, then what the hell?
They're not competitive. And you look at the game last night. Perfect example. Jimmy Butler took a shot, missed it off to the left side. Jimmy Butler outran 2 other Philly players that had an easy chance to get the ball. He grabbed it back
And
was
then
looking
bangs
around.
it home.
shot a 3, and as he's walking down the court, he's going, "Wow!" Like, literally, like, how did y'all let me get that rebound? That's pathetic. I don't know.
No heart.
I don't.
No
Yeah,
heart.
no give a crap. And it sucks because I really like Embiid. We've seen this guy in the league come up from a guy that was rumored to be soft and not play through injuries. He's out there broken right now trying to play and win games.
Yeah.
How long did they sign him to a big deal, or what? How long is he there?
I would have to think that he's got a contract extension. I'd have to look it up. But yeah, I believe he's under.
Is
a
it an
max deal.
option? Is it like
I don't think
if
so.
he-
I think it's a max deal.
Okay.
Well, it doesn't really matter because in the NBA, if you want out, you can.
Yeah,
You
I
can
mean,
get out.
obviously, ask Harden. He just makes himself, scarce and stops showing up to practice, and then eat some donuts, and then they get traded out of Houston. And
He has agreed to a 4-year, $196 million supermax deal that will keep him
Yeah.
to the 76ers through 2026 and 27.
yeah, so he can demand out, but I
Yeah.
mean,
Hey, speaking of another team that falls flat on their face all the time, Boston Celtics.
oh,
They face a tough task because they got to go into Milwaukee tonight in Game 7, or to force a Game 7 and beat the Greek Freak on his home court
yeah,
for a chance to move on. If Boston loses, I think this is kind of a simple question: is this a failure of a season? And that's to me, it's a yes.
Yeah, I mean, you took out the Nets, like,
You
you
mopped the floor
basically
with them.
you basically took them out, which everybody thought that it was going to be them in Milwaukee. Obviously, it makes sense to think that, and so you did that, and I mean, if Boston can pull out an upset and try to force a Game 7, great. But I mean, nobody's expected him to win this at this point,
Look,
especially when it comes
No,
to
after-
the way Milwaukee is, and if the Celtics do come back and beat Milwaukee, Rodgers is going to another team. He's gonna he's gonna get traded. That's the stipulation, Brian.
Oh gosh.
He'll be on the court watching the game because he's got a stake in the team.
Look,
But
look. There's no
that's
shame.
the stipulation I'd set.
There's no shame in losing to a good team, right? You lose to a good team in the playoffs. Okay. It's not only that. The Celtics haven't showed up for half the series. They walk through game one. This team is talented.
Well, they beat the team they wanted to beat, Brian.
I
They
guess
beat the team they wanted to beat.
That was maybe their championship, and they thought it was over.
Well, they had game 5 in the bag, and they choked that away.
Yeah. I watched game 1 going, all right, this is going to be a good game. I'm all 3 quarters I'm going, where's Jason Tatum at? Where's Smart at? These guys aren't waking up. They're talented.
Lockdown defense. It shows up half the time.
It's a failure of a season, and I have no problem. It sucks if you lose to a good team in the playoffs, but at least show up. If you showed up every game and lost 2 or 3 points, maybe 5 points, whatever, every game you lost, okay. But
doesn't Rodgers own a stake in that team?
Yeah.
Yes, he does own a stake in the Milwaukee. Hey, Rodgers is known for choking in the playoffs, so maybe he'll rub some of that voodoo off on Giannis.
Get him out of here. Get him out of the arena.
They're doing this all without Middleton. If they get Middleton back, who knows what they
Who knows? We'll probably. We could be headed for a rematch last year. I don't know.
Taking out the possibility of possible freak thing happening to the Greek freak, injury wise or some crazy nonsense, then yeah, obviously they're gonna beat them. They're probably gonna be the number 1 team coming out of this whole thing, in terms of going to the finals, especially out of the East. So,
and I tell you what, if the Mavericks do make it to the championship, which I don't think they're gonna beat Golden State, and they might not even get past Phoenix, they have nobody to stop the Greek freak. We don't have a center. There's no big man. That's one of the biggest needs the Mavericks.
Better hope for Dodo to do like he did with Aiden.
You know what? It's the weird part about that. The weird part about that is that I think that the Mavericks, the fact that they were playing some of these teams down the stretch, they were playing the Bucks. They beat them. They were playing the Golden State Warriors multiple times. They were beating them. Like I think that was also a test to the Mavericks, especially for Kidd, and wanting to know what they would do to them if they had faced them in the playoffs, and there were some playoff implications to some of this stuff. It's not like these people were sitting the Greek freak out and the Greek freak was just chilling on the side, not caring about anything. And they just had a bunch of nothings in there. Same with Golden State. Golden State was fighting to get a certain spot. So it's just kind of, I get it. But I also think that Mavericks were kind of looking at those series like, you know what? Let's see what they throw at us. Let's see what they throw at us and see how we can counter it. And it seemed like they had countered it a couple of times during the season.
That very well said there, Jeff. That Milwaukee Mavericks game at the end of the season was one of the best games all year. I mean, that went down to the wire, big shots, and we'll see. I mean, if the Mavericks make it past this and go to Golden State, that's already kind of great win for us. But
I think the NBA should definitely. I think the NBA should definitely be wanting a Bucks Mavs series because you got this international, flair with it, and a lot of people. You get. I want to say you'd have to get a lot.
Audience,
you're going to get not only people would watch here, but you're talking about other countries tuning in because they're like, our guys that we've seen and blah, blah, blah. Like, I think, man, that would be a lot of viewers for the NBA. Be crazy.
Definitely would be. Well, the next series, all of us being Maverick fans here, Golden State looks to close things out tonight and move on to the next round. It happens tonight, guys. Ja Morant's out this game, probably out game 7. I'm not sure if there's going to be a game 7. If he's back, I'm not sure with a knee injury.
They did lose and they embarrassingly lost though. The Golden State, which is awesome.
I thought I was like, wow, they got smoked. But that was a game to me that first of all they shot really bad, but I'm just like they knew they didn't have to win it. They maybe slacked off a little bit. But the Timberwolves have shown to play the series, and I've been really surprised by that. And I'm surprised. We talked about last week or on Tuesday, Craig, that I'm surprised their coach didn't win Coach of the Year. Who thought the Timberwolves were going to be the second best team in the West this year? Who thought they were going to go in, win a playoff series, and compete? Now, I know they were down 3-1, and now they're 3-2, but they've played Golden State really, really well. They were a shot away from game one and actually winning that game. Fantastic. And this team is competitive. They got a young Ja Morant who will dunk on anybody. Just a great, fantastic player. I'm looking forward to seeing this team next season. But I just think Golden State's a little too strong for him. Steph Curry's back. You all know who's there. And who, Craig, who's that guy? It's who's that young guy? That guy that's scoring
Jordan Poole.
Jordan Poole comes out of nowhere, scoring 30 points a game. They pit Steph Curry off the bench, Jeff. They call it the death lineup. Steph Curry comes off the bench, scores 35 points in 15 minutes, and they send him back down. And I don't know who's beating that, but they're a tough team. And unfortunately, looks like they've got this guy named Jordan Poole that came out of nowhere. And you're like, oh my gosh, does this team need any more guys?
I mean,
tonight,
I think that I don't like the fact if that is true, and in fact that they were toying around in that last game, we're like, we don't care. Don't do that, because then you're gonna you know what, you start doing stuff like that, you're gonna have a team be like, oh, okay, fine. You just wanted to slack off because you wanted to go back to golden, we want to go back to your home court win, or you want to, whatever. Okay, well then show them up, like play the same game, but do it against them and just completely run them out, and
anything, like you said, any given Sunday, anything can happen tonight.
Right.
I mean,
exactly.
Maybe they go in and have a poor shooting night. And and now you got to go back. Stephen A. Smith said on ESPN today, if you don't win in Golden State, you're not going into Minnesota and winning on Sunday. You're not going to do it.
Right.
He said, you'll get beat again. And you don't think Ja Morant will walk out there and try to will his way onto the court if they force a game 7? He'll go get some overseas treatment and fly back.
He'll get a shot.
Yeah.
Get out there, kid.
He may not be able to feel his right knee, but by God, he'll play game 7. It may look like Gumby out there with, his leg may fold up, but he's going to play game 7. I promise you.
He'll pull a Paul Pierce. He'll come back.
Yeah.
Hey, shoot that knee up like they did Brett Favre's ankle and put him on out there, buddy. Put him on out there.
I talked to somebody about that the other day, that Paul Pierce situation with the Lakers.
What a joke. This guy gets carried off the court like he can't walk for the rest of his life, and he in a wheelchair, and he comes out and 3 minutes later blazing threes.
Yeah.
What a joke. What a joke. Pathetic.
Oh, they put that image on a cake for him once as a joke. Oh.
Well, guys, it's been an interesting show. We've had a lot. We've covered a lot of different ground here. I think the only sport we didn't get into is baseball. And Trevor, something broke on my phone earlier. Trevor Bauer is starting his what is that? His case against the MLB, and there'll be a case going against that soon, which we knew that was coming. Yeah. Just a stupid situation that is for him, but he put himself in there. So I don't know. I just don't know with multiple women now coming out and saying these things. So, but anywho, it is about that time, guys, that we ask Jeff. Let's go ahead and ask you first, buddy. What's in your locker this week?
This week, it's I've worked a bunch and getting this last little bit of my familiarity with everything work wise. So I'm early on, I kind of made some mistakes and stuff. So I've been kind of fixing all those, and I'm getting better at it. So it's getting easier and easier each time I'm at work. So people there are really cool. They're super nice and everything. And so I kind of enjoy it. I don't really hate going into work every day. I think it's a fun job. So other than that, watching Winning Time Lakers, something. I've been watching those. I think I've seen like 3 or 4 episodes of it so far. Really good. And I think it's just a great overall just show in general, outside of it being the Lakers. I do want to see Bronx is Burning. That's another one I always wanted to watch. It was about the 80s and the Reggie Jackson era of the Yankees. So one day I'll watch that. But I think yesterday we watched a documentary on Netflix, I think, and it was just it was a weird one. But paying attention to the Yankees, obviously. Season's early though, so I don't like to. Baseball's weird. I don't really. I mean, I know this early of the season's good, but I don't typically get too excited early season. So it's just it's nice that they're doing well, actually playing 10 times better than they played last year, hitting with runners in scoring position, getting doubles. You got your home run hitters that are going to get their home runs, and the pitching squad is killing it. Bullpen is crazy as it can be. It's all cylinders firing off at one time. They're already beating the Sox or the White Sox. So it's just they're winning the games that they should be winning. They're beating the Orioles and they're winning division games. So they're the team to beat so far in the AL. It's just, I think one other test I want to see them go up against is Houston. That's typically been a thorn on our side. But yeah, that getting ready for Game 7 for the Mavericks Sunday. Excited for football. I want to see Wilson do something, even if it's practice stuff. I just want to see it and actually kind of envision what this team is going to really look like going into the season. So outside of that, nothing on the game side. I haven't been playing a lot of games. I've been kind of just coming home. If I have been playing anything, it's obviously been Rocket League. Everybody knows that. Play Rocket League because it's an easy 2, 3, 4 minute game, and then I'm out. So, yeah. Other than that, that's what's in my locker. What's in your locker? I don't know who's going.
All right. Well, I mean, we got Game 6 for the Stars tonight. They face Calgary. They face elimination. It's win or go home. So we'll see that. We got Game 7 for the Mavericks on Sunday. That'll be interesting. Another weekend off, so that's a rarity in my world. Don't very rarely get Saturdays off, but gonna go visit with my folks on Sunday and catch up with them and just basically enjoy the weekend. So a lot of sporting events. These Game 6s and Game 7s will be very interesting to see where they are. The Giants have a big series in St. Louis. They kind of took it on the chin when they played them at home. So we'll see if they've got the pitching lined up where they need to this set. They've got the Webb and Rondon and the guys, they got the aces going. So we'll see if they can do any better on the road trip, and just going to take some time off and watch these sports and see how they play out. See if we can't force a Game 7 Sunday. May have two Game 7 Sunday. May have the Stars and the Mavericks. So we'll see. Brian, what about you?
Nice. Well, I had to bring you back in real quick because Jason Tatum has showed up tonight. Jason Tatum has 41 points as they actually are leading right now. What did that say? They're leading right now 95-87 with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So it looks like Boston's on its way to force a Game 7. I wanted to talk about that real quick as it just popped up. All right, guys, this week in my locker, I've been learning a new route at work. It's been not bad. I'm running a different route next week, and before we lose that route, I have been watching a show called Face Off. And Jeff, you think you know about this show? I don't know, Craig, but it's a show where they do special effect like costumes and makeups, and it's a competition. And we found it on Amazon Prime, and we're like, wow, this show used to be really awesome. So we've been watching that. It's really cool to watch actually. But we've been watching that. We've been watching Moonlight. That's been pretty good. We went and watched Doctor Strange. Jeff, that was fantastic movie. People are talking about if it should be rated R or not. No, it should not be rated R. Not that they want it to be rated R so it could be dark. just that after they watched it, they were like, maybe this should have been rated R because it's rated R worthy. No, it's not. Let's just stop. Just stop. Okay, just go watch it. It's really good. Really good movie. Yeah, like I said, we got Game 7 of the Mavericks Sunday. I won't probably be able to watch it live because it's going to start at midnight. And joking, it'll probably start about 7, but that's my bedtime usually. Looking forward to NFL, like we all are. Baseball is going. Like I said, Jeff's team is on fire lately. Rangers just played them not long ago. I think y'all won 2-1, something like that. You hit a home run in your little league ballpark you got going on there in right field. I only heard those comments there, but that was pretty funny. Rangers are better than they were last year, but we're not going to go compete for anything. So it just is what it is. I got to get out and watch a couple games. Craig, we need to go to the Ranger game for sure. Hopefully the Stars get it done. They're actually on right now. I know Craig's going, well, you guys shut up so I can go watch the Dallas Stars play right now. Or we're about to wrap those things up. That's really what's all in my locker. We got a special event coming up for some special people in our life, but I don't want to say too much about that, so I don't want to spoil it if they might be watching. But anyways, that's what's been in my locker. We've been continually popping out information, guys, on TikTok, on social media. So look forward to looking at that. And we got more things in the work, guys. Craig has been a fantastic addition. He pops out. He's Mr. ESPN. He'll pop out stuff before ESPN pops it out. So that's his little nickname. I don't know how he does it, but that's cool.
And don't listen to Brian about the Doctor Strange. It's an NC-17 movie, guys. Don't listen.
Do not take your children to this.
It's fantastic. Okay, it's fantastic. But
the worlds they go in, you don't know. You don't want to know.
Yeah, no, that's a pretty cool part of it. I recommend. Thank you for bringing that back up again. You must watch. Warning: you have to watch WandaVision TV show before you watch Doctor Strange, or you will be lost. You will be lost. So you must watch that before you rush out to watch this movie. I watched it because I like that stuff in Marvel. I didn't know that when I watched the movie, I go, man, if someone came into this and didn't watch that TV show, you're out of luck. You're going to be going, what in the world is going on? Watch it. I wish they would have put that out before, because probably a lot of people that didn't watch that and they went to go see us and were like, what? So
damn
no,
Marvel.
Go watch it. Dadgum Marvel. No, go watch it. It is actually a fantastic movie. But yeah.
Another solid one, boys.
Yeah, I figured we would be on here for 3 hours, as we all like to talk so much, but I think it went pretty smoothly here as well, and we will continue to do things. Craig, I wanted to fill you in when basketball season ends and it's just basically baseball. What me and Jeff will do is we need to bring it back, Jeff, is we will agree to watch a documentary about anything, sports, whatever, and then we will review that documentary on the show to fill in some time and do those things. So we're always trying to think of new different things we can fill time with when sports is kind of a little slow going forward after the NBA season and stuff. But other than that, guys, it's been a fantastic show. We kept it to under an hour and a half. So with us three on, that's fantastic. Fantastic. So Craig, you go watch the Stars. I got to go put my 4 kids to bed, and Jeff, go play a video game, buddy.
I gotta go.
We're gonna round a Rocket League.
I gotta eat something too, because my wife's like, I'm hungry. I'm like, fuck. Yeah.
Get off the show. Go feed your wife. All right, guys. Well, I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I hope Stars pull it off. Let's go Mavs. And God bless and keep it outspoken.
Bye.